I am a leader. Because there's a difference to be an unsung leader, per se.
Right.
But have I thought about quitting, honestly, several times? Absolutely. Yeah. Just got to be honest and say that.
Yeah.
Honest.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 6 of the Unbiased Truth Podcast, sponsored by 360 Home Inspections. And today's guest is the ever wonderful Tara Adams, realtor with Keller Williams. So I appreciate you joining us here today. Your first podcast, right?
Very first.
Yeah, she is an expert on Facebook Live. She's an expert on tricking me into Facebook Live. She recorded an entire segment the other day on Facebook Live without me realizing that's what we were doing. I didn't have Courtney there to do my makeup or anything, so it was quite a surprise. No, but no, she does a lot of stuff, Facebook Live, things like that. So, but this is her first time with the microphone. Yeah. So just like I said before we got started, a little bit, we're just going to talk about business. That's the purpose of the podcast, is just talk about business, talk about how it translates to real estate, because we're both in real estate and whatnot. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, so a little bit about me. You already said my name, so I am Tara Adams. I actually have been a realtor now for 3 years, so that is very exciting. However, I have been in the real estate industry for over 20. Started out my career in the mortgage industry. And I worked for Bank of America for over 18 years. Started out in customer service, then transitioned over to the mortgage side. Actually made it through what kind of looks like what we're going through right now.
Yeah, 2008, 2009,
Yep, made it through all of that. But I actually got laid off in 2013. Yep.
Okay.
And then got laid off in 2013. And then after being laid off in 2013, I did some other things. Worked for Capital One for a little while. And then I was an adjunct over at J. Sargent Reynolds Community College for a very brief period. I bagged some groceries at Kroger for a little while. And then I actually went into the U.S. House of Representatives with Congressman McKeeshan for a little while.
Oh, wow.
And while I was working for him, that's when I got my license.
Okay, what made you want to become or try your hand at real estate in this side of real estate? Because at Bank of America, you did.
I was a processor. I did a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I was a processor. I was an underwriter.
Yeah.
And then I went into leadership. And so I managed all facets. I managed on the home equity side. I managed on the government side as in FHA, VA, closers, processors. I did it all.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what made you try this? Because, real estate's it's a fun game.
Well, actually, I remember saying, I'm going to try sales when I was doing it.
Yeah.
Right? But I wasn't really serious about it. Well, actually, I will have to say it's a God thing.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know I'm a very spiritual person. And I remember actually walking, I was preparing for the 10K. And God gave me a vision. He said, I want you to help my people get free and create wealth through real estate. And he gave me a vision. Yeah.
Nice. So what are some of the challenges? Because you got your license, you went straight to Keller Williams, right? So that's you didn't go to Keller Williams?
No.
Yeah. I learned something today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Keller Williams your second stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I didn't know anything. So I made an announcement on Facebook that I got my license.
Yep, call me, right?
No, not even call me. I just made an announcement that I got my license. And the broker recruited me. I didn't know anything. Yeah. She recruited me. So I said, okay. Yeah. I'll try it.
Yeah. Well, we met while you was at Keller Williams already. So what were some of the challenges in the beginning? Because you've become, in my opinion, and hopefully your opinion as well, you've been pretty successful doing this. So
there were a lot of challenges.
Always, absolutely.
My main challenges were, and I told this story when I was at Virginia Beach. So when I first started out, the way the broker recruited me was, she said she was going to give me my first sale.
Okay.
And she never did. And so when I took the leap of faith to go into real estate, I fasted. And when I was fasting, God kept saying to me, is this my best for you? In every area of your life.
Yeah.
Is this my best for you? And so at the time, I said this when I was in Virginia Beach in front of all those people. I said I was shacking up with somebody. I said that on stage. I was shacking. And so I said, no, this is not the best for me in every area of my life. So I resigned from my job. And I gave old boy his eviction notice the same day.
Yeah.
And so that's how I began my career in real estate. That's how I began my career. And I didn't have any money. And for 6 months, I didn't sell anything. So you asked me how did things start?
Started
awful.
Yeah, boats taking on water.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And so for 6 months, I didn't sell anything. I hadn't paid my mortgage in 6 months. I was in Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I didn't make those payments.
Right.
My lights got cut off. It was really, really bad. Really bad. That's how I ended up working at American Airlines because I had to put gas in the car. So I started working there part-time. And so things got really, really bad. So I finally confided in this guy who was working there. He was doing like some kind of coaching. And I told him, I was like, look, my back was up against a wall. I was frustrated. I said, yo, she promised me my first sale and she never did.
Right.
And so he went and told her what I said. Well, I just so happened to have gone to this housing conference in Baltimore with my pastor. And on my way back from Baltimore, I happened to be on the phone. I was on the train, and I sat next to Cheryl Napper. I didn't know who she was, but I got off the phone, but let me backtrack a little bit. Prior to that call, when I was in Baltimore, I think, I called my girlfriend who's a broker in Baltimore. I said, you got to give me something. You got to give me something. This is not working. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. I need some kind of tip. She said, I don't have anything for you except that I tell all my brand new agents 2 things. Number 1, you got to go to Keller Williams. Go to Keller Williams first and then come back to me. I don't do new agents. Go there. Get training. And 2, you got to sew. I said, I don't have nothing to sew with. She said, yes, you do.
Yeah.
I said, I don't. She said, you know the word, God gives seed to the sower. I said, I'm telling you, I don't have anything. She said, yes, you do. I said, okay, whatever you say. So I get off the phone. When I get off the phone, Cheryl says, and again, I don't know her by Cheryl at this point. She says, I heard you having a conversation. You're a realtor? I said, yeah, I'm a realtor. She said, so am I. I'm with Keller Williams. You're with what? Oh, you're with Keller Williams? I need to be at Keller Williams. But it just so happened, before I left, the broker sent my license back to Depot because the man told her that I was causing discord in the brokerage because I told him that she didn't send my, she didn't give me my first sale. So she gave me a check for $1,400 and sent my license back to Depot.
And for people who don't know, you have to have your license hanging somewhere, right?
Yes.
You know, it's not like me. I have a license. I can keep it in my wallet, right?
Oh, okay.
You know, because the license is attached to me. And while you have your own license, it has to be, a broker has to take you on, right?
Yes, a broker has
so
to.
if it gets sent back to Depot, and you can't operate.
You can't operate. So therefore, the broker is responsible for your license.
Right.
So she sent my license back to Depot and gave me a check for $1,400.
Interesting.
Now I have what? Seed money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I have seed money. Now I have connection to
Keller Williams.
Keller Williams.
Yeah. Who just so happens to be the place you were told you needed to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I immediately got connected to Keller Williams. Mm-hmm. I tithed into ministries. And so as soon as I did that, I was obedient. I sold 5 houses immediately. And immediately. I caught my mortgage up and caught up the bankruptcy. And I haven't stopped selling since. I haven't stopped tithing since. Yeah. I haven't stopped selling since. I haven't stopped sewing since.
Yeah.
And the rest is it. It's history.
Yeah. That's a powerful story. It's a powerful story because real estate's not easy. Doesn't matter which side you're on. It's not easy to get into because, as I say, you know, everybody knows a realtor, right? So just getting your foot in the door and being able to get to clients and get to deals and get to listings and get to buyers, and then, you know, you're 3 years into it. So you joined right before COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's that tidal wave of COVID. And while a lot of realtors feasted during COVID, it still wasn't easy for buyers agents, right? You know, all the waiving, all the competition, you know, 80 showings, 25 offers, whatnot. It's tough, right? And now in less than 5 years in, we're shifting to another market, right? So which is going to be a different skill set, which is fine for somebody who's been doing this for 15, 20 years and they've seen some things, but for less than 5 years, it's impressive to come in and get it figured out, and place your trust like you did. So it's a very powerful story, going from bankruptcy to 5. 20. Yeah. Just, you know, and I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the car you drive, didn't you tell me you paid cash for that? Mm-hmm. So yeah, from bankruptcy to paying cash for your car, right? So getting through all those challenges, I know, shifting gears just a little bit, you have an MBA, right? When did you get your MBA?
I actually got it in 2008.
2008? Mm-hmm. So how...
During the other crash.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going into a crash. The one crash. How has that helped you in your business, right? Or on your business? Because we often talk about when you're working, whether it's by yourself, small teams, big team, big company, small company, there's a difference between working on your business and working in your business. And sometimes we get so wrapped up working in our business, we forget to work on our business, right? But going through the coursework and getting your MBA and learning all the stuff that you learn that comes with that, how has that helped you at least organize and prepare your business for success?
Like when we were talking the other day, I can't really say, is it my MBA? or is it overall corporate structure?
Okay.
The things that I've learned
Yeah.
in corporate structure when we were talking about green belt methodologies and Kaizen methods. Do they run together?
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will tell you that in today's world, I'm very fortunate that everything that I have learned, I am now implementing in my business. I know that we have to get very, very lean. And that is going to be huge going forward.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, and I think that's probably where that stuff comes in, right? Versus somebody. I'm not saying everybody has to go out and get an MBA, right?
But if you can't forecast that and know,
but it's just being able to understand that you're in a business, even if you're a independent agent, and you work for Keller Williams or you work for whoever, Long and Foster, whatever brokerage, you're a business, right? You're your own individual business. And if you don't treat it as such and you don't forecast it as such, then a shift in the market like this, you're going to get left behind, right? I've noticed, I saw a post just a couple days ago of somebody, intentions were well, and they posted how in the actual post, the wording of the post, they talked about how, lots of fear over the market, but things are actually getting better because month over month, there's been increases in inventory and increases in this, increases in that. Yes, increase in price and whatnot. But the picture they posted was year over year numbers, which we know what those look like, right? Everything's down year over year, right? So if you're trying to, as a business, you're trying to calm people. What do we do as a visual society? I'm not reading what you're posting. I'm reading what your picture says, right? So I'm just going to have the opposite effect. And if you're just grasping for straws or whatnot, you're just posting stuff, without really paying attention or realizing, one, what you're posting, or two, understanding what you're posting. So it can have the negative effect. But someone who understands business, someone who, like you say, time to get lean, right? That you learn through the Six Sigma Green Belt. How do you leverage the stuff to help make you lean, right? So without that kind of thing, or at least that foresight to realize you need to understand it, right?
And quantitative,
really absolutely,
analytics is paramount.
Because in the last 2 weeks, all we've seen is numbers thrown out there. Okay, but if you don't understand what the numbers mean, then what are they doing for you, right? Well, we're crashing because it's slower than last year. Well, last year was insane, right?
Right.
Last year's an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
So we can't compare, when you're in business, if you're in business for 10 years, they tell you, hey, your worst year and your best year, take them, throw them away, right? Because those aren't a reality. Those are the exceptions to the rule. And that's kind of what we had to do with COVID, right? Just throw those away. Doesn't mean there's not value in those numbers, but what were we doing in 2018, 2019? Right. Because everybody's numbers were inflated the last 2 years, and we all knew it couldn't be sustained, and now we're surprised that it's not sustained, right? So I think that's where the MBA and the business background, and especially seeing on the other side, like you said, the underwriting and things like that, to be able to see what is happening on the other side, to have a better understanding of what you need to do in your business to adjust moving forward and still be successful. Because even though, a lot of people agree that, the shift doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't necessarily it's a bad thing, right? Doesn't mean people are not going to get left behind, right? So I think where you are with your knowledge and what you've done and what you've built, you're going to keep riding that wave. And in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, when we have another surge, you're going to be doing even better, right? You're going to ride that wave even higher. So absolutely. So fast forward a couple years, right? Now you've built your brand. You're building your empire. Your Be Intentional empire, right? Now you're at Keller Williams, and I think when I was there a couple weeks ago, I think Maria said that you got like 230, 240, 220 as far as agents go in that office.
Yeah, we were pushing 230.
Yeah, okay, 230. So a lot of agents, right? But you were asked to be on the ALC, right? So what is the ALC?
The Agent Leadership Council?
That's right. So for those that's not familiar with Keller Williams, that's the top 20% gets asked or offered or whatever. That's who they seek out, I should say, I guess, to be on this committee, like council,
board of directors.
Panel. Yeah. And you're there to
provide leadership.
Yeah. Lead the branch, basically,
yes.
Right? And, different input, right? So what did that mean to you to be able, because it's new, right? And we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that, right? That's outside that comfort zone, because there's some things that's they ask, your profit and loss sheets. Now you're sharing with the world, right? How many deals you do, how many phone calls, like just a different level of accountability. It's just not comfortable, right? So yeah, how's that been?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Challenging, but all the while rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it been becoming a leader in the office after 3 years?
Well, it's funny. I walked in and I knew I was a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm it's in me.
Right.
I was born a leader. So that's yeah, I am a leader. But for me to actually be on the ALC is an honor.
Yeah.
It is an honor. Because there's a difference to be an unsung leader,
right,
per se.
Right.
But have I thought about quitting, honestly, several times? Absolutely. Yeah. Just got to be honest and say that.
Yeah.
Honestly. But it's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to the importance of stepping out of your comfort zone, right? Because not only is it all those other things, right, I've just talked about, but it's also when you meet, it's open invitation, right? So it could be 5 people, it could be everybody, right? But the whole office has the opportunity to be there and just kind of looking at you, what's your words of wisdom, where are you at? And they're kind of seeing your successes and failures on, it's not just, I'll just keep those at home, right? So, but it's the importance, because without being uncomfortable, then we're not going to grow. So I think it's amazing that you're on it. I think you bring a lot to the committee. I think you bring a lot to Keller Williams. So which is probably all the reason why, following that, this sequence of events led you to Virginia Beach, as you mentioned earlier, where you received some type of an award. Yeah. What was that about? People don't know that we're talking to the award-winning Tara Adams.
Yeah, and it wasn't for production. It was for culture, my demonstration of culture, for the charitable work that I do. Keller Williams has a commitment to charity, to service. And I was recognized for the service work that I do. Yeah. Nice.
What kind of service work do you do?
A lot.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Excellence Closet.
The Excellence Closet. So the Excellence Closet is a nonprofit foundation that I started in 2015. We provide supplemental resources for students in need. Primarily, right now, we provide personal hygiene products for students in need, primarily. But our goal is to eliminate any small roadblock that may be hindering a student's success. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Since 2015, I just did.
No, you didn't say that. So, ask my wife; she'll tell you. I got a condition. So, so 2015. So that's what, 7 years you've been doing that.
Yeah.
Where else are you providing the? I know because I see the excellence closet a lot on social media. So I know that's your primary, but I know you do a lot of other things as well.
So I also volunteer with Meals on Wheels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And just about anywhere that anybody asks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I know and I admire about you is that you don't miss an opportunity to lift somebody else up, right? When you did your client appreciation event, you talked just as much about the people in that room, such as the caterer. I don't remember his name, but
Chef George.
Yes, amazing food. But how he helped you in your time of need, and now you try to lift him up. And I see that with everywhere that you go, right? And that takes a lot of energy. And once people start getting successful, they have a tendency to kind of forget to do that, right? But you've never done that. Not that I've seen. I don't think it's in your nature to do that. So I just want to tell you that I find it's inspiring to see you do stuff like that, to lift people up. You don't leave anybody behind. And I can tell that it doesn't matter if you sell 4 houses or sell 40 houses, it doesn't matter if it's low income or if you're selling, if you're a luxury real estate agent, I don't think it's going to ever change who you are. And I think that's important, and which is why I think you're very deserving of that award. And that's why I'm always excited to work with you, even though, some of those days are on Saturday mornings and whatnot. But no, I think it's a good place to be. And I think you have an amazing story, and I think a lot of people need to hear it. But with that being said, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Just what I'm trying to get the word out. What's next for the Excellence Closet?
Mm-hmm.
And also every time you close on a deal with me, a portion of the proceeds goes towards the Excellence Closet. Just FYI.
Nice.
Yes. And what's next for the Excellence Closet? We're going to buy a van for the Excellence Closet. So we always hear about food deficiencies for students and people in need, but we never hear about personal hygiene needs. So that's why the Excellence Closet does what it does. We do the unconventional.
Right.
Okay. So the next thing is we hear about college tours all the time, right? Going to take kids on college tours.
Yeah.
Well, 9 times out of 10, these students aren't going to college.
Right.
Right? These kids also aren't going to the zoo.
Right.
They're not going to the beach.
Right.
They're not even going to Maymont Park.
Yeah. They're locked in on
in the project.
Yeah. They're blocked.
They're
basically.
blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Excellence Closet is going to take these kids to Maymont Park,
That's awesome.
to the zoo. But we need a van
Yeah.
in order to do so.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to get. A
That's
van
awesome.
to take the kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to reach you, whether it's to buy or sell their house, or they want to be a part of this project, how do they reach you?
You know how to reach me. Facebook,
Facebook,
Instagram, or just text me or call me at 804-402-0499. Very simple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be respectful of your time. I enjoyed our conversation. I appreciate you coming on.
Awesome.
Yeah. And here's to at least 3 more years.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget, this is home ownership month.
Home ownership month.
It's home ownership
month.
month.
What are we doing for home ownership month?
We are going to our office, Keller Williams, 6806 Paragon Place.
That's right. Suite 300.
Suite 300. Saturday, June 25th or 6th, from 9 to 3. Join. June 25th, 9 to 3. Join me and Sidney. We had a wonderful, wonderful class. We got some great giveaways. Join us. The market is shifting. There's opportunities for buyers. We just had one of our amazing veterans. One of our veterans from our last class, Sidney, just got under contract in a awesome house that's perfect for her and her daughter.
Yeah.
Me and Sidney, we did it in our last class. You want to come get this education because there's opportunities for buyers now because the market is shifting. So come on out. Come to our class.
So you just put a lot of pressure on Courtney to make sure this gets released before next Saturday. So
yeah, come to our class.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed the conversation. I learned some things about you that I didn't know. I probably did know, but after so many crawl spaces, you should start losing things. But no, I appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed it and look forward to doing this again.